Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another Championship predictions video. Less than 10 games to go, and I'm joined by HPYT. You good?
Yeah, man. You?
Yeah, after that Sheffield United game.
Class, wasn't it?
Very
Class.
good.
Very unexpected.
Yeah, I didn't predict that in the last video. Cool. Make sure to like and subscribe before we get into these predictions. Big Tuesday and Wednesday games coming at you. And let's start with Barnsley v Bristol City. Now Barnsley, decent draw. I backed them to draw 1-1 with Fulham and they went and did it. Nearly won, to be fair. They're only 4 minutes from winning. Bristol City, meanwhile, proper backs to the wall performance at Blackburn. I think Barnsley have got more to play for here, but I'm really impressed by that win Bristol City got at Blackburn. So I'm going to back them. Barnsley 1, Bristol City 2.
I'm backing Barnsley here.
Okay.
They're a little smash and grab. They've been a lot better recently, to be perfectly honest. They have gone on a little bit of a, not a run, but they've stopped losing games, which is important. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them nick this 1-0 with a cheeky little smash, to be fair.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a big game, isn't it? Birmingham City take on Middlesbrough next. Now, Birmingham City just going about, picking up the odd point, not going down, but not inspiring anyone. Middlesbrough, meanwhile, still in the playoff race, but like I've said, they're much better at home than they are away. So they drew at Millwall, it's not a bad draw. I think they might draw here. Birmingham 1, Middlesbrough 1.
Yeah. I think Middlesbrough are one of my key picks for top 6, to be honest. I think they have the quality and the consistency to stay up there if they can obviously keep that form going. I think they might in this game, because Birmingham don't really have a lot to play for and they are not the greatest of teams, are they? So I can see this being a 2-0 to Middlesbrough, but I don't think there'll be it won't be light work. I think they'll have to make a bit of a go of it. Yeah,
absolutely. Could be an interesting game now. Next one's massive. We'll stream this one on the Tuesday. Blackburn Rovers versus Derby County. Now both obviously playing for something. Blackburn in the top 6, Derby in the bottom 3. This is a really tricky one to predict because they've both been good at times this season, but I feel like recently they've both dropped off a little bit. Derby not picking up so many points. Not a bad performance at Bournemouth, but they didn't get anything. And Blackburn, meanwhile, lost at home to Bristol City. They're starting to have that little drop-off. They need to go back to winning ways. I think this will end 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going Desmond here. I think Derby can score a goal. They have shown it all season that they've got fight in them. And Blackburn are just they're on their downward post-Christmas spiral, as we all saw coming. And so I think this is going to be one of those games that they just don't quite do enough.
No, it's getting interesting in the race for survival and the playoffs. Next up's AFC Bournemouth versus Reading. Big game, a team just above the relegation zone versus a team just in second place. Bournemouth, good result for them and a really good weekend for them because a lot of the teams in that sort of top 6 race all drop points. So Bournemouth look pretty clear to go on and get second. Need to win this. I think they will. 3-1.
Yeah, I can't see this being too much of a problem for Bournemouth, to be honest. Reading haven't impressed many people all season, particularly not Paul Ince. I don't know if he's got the job permanently, but their current manager, Paul Ince, and I think he's right about them needing to be harder to beat because right now they just seem to lose games for fun, and I think it's going to be another one. And I think I will go actually for 3-1 as well. Was that what you said? Yeah, I think 3-1 as well.
West Bromwich Albion versus Fulham next. Both teams came down from the Premier League and it's been different seasons for both, hasn't it? West Brom did actually start okay, but they've just fallen off a cliff. And okay, they rescued a draw against Huddersfield, but this is a different kettle of fish. Fulham look good. I know they only drew at Barnsley, but I think Fulham go back to winning ways here. 2-0.
Yeah, Fulham, that's almost a freak result, isn't it, for failing to beat Barnsley, considering how good they have been all season. And West Brom, they're nowhere now. I think their chances of the top 6 are gone, even with that draw at Huddersfield, because they had to win that and they haven't. So I'm just wondering what the morale's like in that camp. And obviously Fulham's going to be flying sky high, so I can easily see this being almost a bit of a pasting for West Brom. I think we could see at least 3-0 to Fulham here. Wow,
interesting. It's a big game. Next up, Blackpool take on Sheffield United, and this is a huge game for Sheffield United after that defeat to Coventry because they can restore things with a win here and make things look like it was just a blip. Or if they lose this and everyone else is winning, Sheffield United might actually slip out of the top 6 again, and it is so unforgiving, this race. I think ultimately Sheffield United will make the top 6 this season, but they're coming up against Blackpool, who I've really enjoyed this season. Blackpool have been a really good newly promoted team. Got another win at the weekend. 2-1 to Blackpool.
Yeah, I think it will be a blip. I think Sheffield United have too many good players. I know they're struggling with injuries. I think they've got 11 first team players injured, which isn't great. But they have got a lot of depth in that squad. They actually, I don't think they were that bad when they played us on Saturday. I think we just nullified them really well and countered their game. I think when we played them away, they looked a lot better. And I don't know, I feel like that they could just try and scrap a couple of results here and there while some players come back from injury. I think this could be 1-0.
Yeah, that's another good point. Sheffield United got a lot of injuries. Next up, Cardiff City take on Stoke City. I mean, are they both heading for another championship season next year?
Doesn't matter, does it?
Looks, we're getting into that point of the season where there's going to be some games here that probably don't mean anything. Ultimately, they're both going to play for something. You know, they want to finish as high as they can in the table, but Stoke have had a real fall off. It's so disappointing from them. And Cardiff going the other way. It wouldn't surprise me if these kind of surpass each other in the table. I think Cardiff win this. They're in the better form. 1-0.
I think you're right. I think 2-0. And purely for what you said, they're going in completely opposite direction. Stoke have just been in free fall for probably since November, really. They've looked really poor for quite a long time now. And Cardiff, they've had a bit of a resurgence, so I could easily see this being 2-0.
Yeah. Next up, we go to the CBS. Coventry City versus Hull City. Coventry just making things really hard for us who do predictions. And Coventry were fantastic against Sheffield United. It wasn't a freak result. I think it was long overdue with some of our performances.
Yeah.
We finally punished someone, and that happened to be Sheffield United. And Hull City we beat away. But this is such a potential banana skin. I think Hull City are going to stay up, and they've got dangerous players, Lewis Potter being one of them. I think Coventry might just do it. I don't think this is going to be easy in any way, shape or form, but we have to win to keep any hopes alive. 2-1.
Yeah, this won't be easy. We can't underestimate these. I know we beat them away from home, and even that was only 1-0. Then that's when our away form was really good. So we can't take these for mugs at all, because they're not. Obviously, they've shown a lot of people that they're in for the fight in the Championship, and fair play to them, they've done really, really well. I still think we'll beat them, and I just don't think it's going to be... It won't be any more than 2. I think you're probably looking at 1-0 from me for this.
1-0 to the Sky Blues. Okay, next up we go down to the Kenilworth Stadium. Kenilworth Road, Luton Town take on Preston North End, and Luton Town are looking all right, but then that QPR defeat is such a big setback, isn't it? QPR came out of nowhere to win that one. I think Luton fans have said that's their bogey team. Now they're playing Preston, who ultimately aren't playing for much. Now these teams can actually be quite dangerous. You might say Preston have nothing to play for, they won't give it 110%, but I think they still might, and it won't be easy, but I do think Luton will go back to winning ways. Just 2-1.
Yeah, I like Luton. I think they're a good team. I think their model is something that we need to emulate as a club as well, but they've been on such a good run for such a long time, and I'm wondering now if that defeat will rattle them, because they've got so used to winning. I'm not sure it will rattle them and they'll start playing awful. I'm not convinced that they can bounce straight back into winning every game, because they were going for a period where they've won like 9 out of 10 games or something ridiculous. They went and beat it for a long time. I think you could be looking at a draw here. I think it'll be an unfair 1-1, because I think Luton will dominate the game.
Okay, next up we go to the Den, Millwall versus Huddersfield. Millwall on a good little unbeaten run, Huddersfield on a very good unbeaten run. I've noticed Huddersfield dropped a couple of points in draws recently. That West Brom one stands out, and Millwall's wins have started turning into 0-0 draws. So I think the logical thing here would probably be to go for a 0-0. I'm going to go 0-0. I think it keeps both of their runs going.
So am I.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it. I agree with Matt's predictions, but I think he's right. Huddersfield they keep ticking along. They don't necessarily win every game. They don't necessarily play the best football every game, but they get the points, and that's what matters. And Millwall, as they were at the start of the season, are kind of again turning into draw specialists. So yeah, I can easily see that being goalless. I don't want to say bore draw, but no score draw.
Could be an entertaining 0-0.
Yeah.
Next up we go to Nottingham Forest versus QPR. Now this could be a really exciting game. QPR suddenly back up into 4th place with that win against Luton, and Forest still going about their business. 4-0 against Reading last time, albeit Reading, not very good, but very ruthless from Nottingham Forest. This is so hard to pick. You can make an argument for both these winning this game. I think Desmond, 2-2.
Desmond, yes sir. I think Forest win. QPR, they looked a little bit, even though they won, they looked a little bit shaky. They had to rely on penalty to get them back into the game against Luton. And then a last minute winner, so it wasn't convincing. I don't think. I've not seen the whole game, so I'm not sure if that's completely fair to say, but I think that Forest will just have a bit too much for them, because they look so good right now and they're playing so well as a team, I think it'll be a tight 2-1.
2-1 to Forest. Okay, last game, Peterborough United versus Swansea City. Now, this could be quite interesting. Peterborough bottom, but they're still technically in touching distance. I say that, they're not going about it picking up many points, but they're still only 2 wins behind Reading. Peterborough have been drawing a few games recently. It's not going to get them out of the bottom 3, but it will keep them in touching distance. And Swansea are so unpredictable, especially on the road, that I think this could be a draw. I'm going to say 2-2.
2-0 Swansea, all the best. See you later, Posh. Thanks for coming. I think that'll be it. I can't see them winning anything.
No.
They've just looked that bad this year, I'm afraid to say. I thought they might have a good chance, but they seem to be the Norwich of the Championship. They come up, go straight back down. See you next year. Simple as that.
And that wraps that up. Give me your thoughts down below. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me.
That's right, mate.
And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.